All right, we are live. Kendra, how are you?
Good, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm glad you're here. Guys, this is Kendra Mahon. She is another speaker at Shank Minds on November 10th, but she's also Canada's top fitness trainer. Like in all of Canada, like she's the best, right? So that's crazy.
Okay.
Canada is filled with millions of people, and she's like the best fitness trainer in all of Canada. But I wanted to bring her on because she's also an entrepreneur. She runs her own business. She's a trainer. She trains tons of people. And she has a really cool take on sort of mental health, entrepreneurship, and physicality. For me, the premise is I'm not at my best if I haven't done something physical every day, right? I get up 4 a.m., 4:30 in the morning because I have my kid and I want to work out before she wakes up. So I am to the point where she's even said, Daddy, on the days I don't work out, did you get on the bike today? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I know you're not as happy, right? So for people who are entrepreneurs who are starting their own companies and doing their own things, working out is more than likely at the bottom of their list, right? They're so busy, they're so swamped. So, what do you tell them? Oh, I don't have time to work out.
You know what? It all starts with setting an intention for the day. So a lot of people don't work out in the morning. I strongly encourage it because I look at working out like the alternator in a car. Okay. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm too tired to go. It's too difficult. What I suggest to them is you should go. And actually the hardest part of the workout is showing up, as we probably both know, and anybody that works out, that's the hardest part. If you can get to your workout, that's the first step. The second thing to keep in mind, like I was saying about the alternator in a vehicle, is without that charge, the car won't go, the battery won't get going. If you've had a good workout, you will know that it charges you up for the day. When you're done your workout, generally, you're not tired. You're feeling good. You're feeling ready to take on the day. As an entrepreneur myself,
Sorry, waffle, really? Keep talking.
Yep, I work out basically first thing in the morning, and I find that helps me organize my day in my mind. I run on the treadmill for about an hour and a half every morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I just keep it simple. But during that workout, I find that I have clarity of what I'm going to do for the day. Sometimes I get sparks of ideas that I maybe not would have discovered by just waking up and getting to the office and starting to work. I also find that like I said, showing up for the workout is the hardest part.
But what do you tell people? I mean, you get into the habit of doing it, and I don't think it ever gets easier. I mean, that alarm goes off at 4:15 in the morning. It still hurts, no matter how long I've been doing it.
It does. It does. It's difficult, and again, showing up is the hardest part. But just know that when you get through your workout, you're going to feel great. You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anyone else. This is your time to work out.
What do you encourage? What do you suggest that people just starting out? I mean, look, we all know that the dopamine you get, the adrenaline, the serotonin you get from that kind of, any kind of workout, greatly alters your brain and gives you creativity vibes and all that kind of stuff. How do you tell people to start who have never done it before? Right? They might be thinking, okay, you know what? I'm turning whatever year old. I should really start focusing on my health. What do you tell them to do?
I tell them to incorporate it into their routine, no matter what. Make sure, even if it's just stretching in the morning, walking, anything that's going to trigger physical activity is going to affect the mind. As we know, mind over matter, but also matter over mind. So I would recommend adding it to the routine. And a lot of times people will give up too easily because they're not seeing results yet. You need to be consistent. It starts to get more interesting and a lot more fun when you start to see yourself get more toned and you start to feel the benefits and the toxins are coming out from the sweating and life just seems a little bit easier. You're being more creative. You're bringing your pen and paper to your workout because you're getting these ideas for what's next as an entrepreneur.
Well, that brings up a really interesting question. For people like me, the ADHD in me, right? It's like, okay, I worked out. I did a hard workout this morning. Why am I still fat? Right? It's like it hasn't happened yet. How do you convince for people like us who look for that sort of immediate satisfaction, right? That immediate gratification. How do you get them to stay on? Right? Okay, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, I'm not seeing, or I'm plateauing or whatever. There have been times when I've plateaued. Next thing I know, it's 3 weeks later and I've eaten 18 pizzas, right? How do you get people to stay on track? What do you recommend people to do?
Definitely, Peter. Well, first of all, we need to accept ourselves for who we are. We need to live in the moment. We only have one life. Every day that goes by is, a jelly bean out of the jelly bean jar of life. So we need to accept ourselves and love ourselves, number one. Just because you're holding on to a little bit of extra fat does not mean you're not fit. To get down to lean and toned, it has a lot to do with calories as well. And I like to eat personally. I love eating. So I make sure that, I can eat the yummy stuff I want to eat in the day because I've done my workout. Holding on to a little bit of fat, I don't think is a problem. I think people that are trying to attain a very toned physique need to make sacrifices in what they're eating. And sometimes that can affect quality of life. So you need to figure out what's important to you. Do you want to be fit and happy? Or do you want to be, hungry and ripped? But at the same time, that hungry and ripped sort of thing, it's not necessarily something I recommend. But if you have an event coming up, or, you're going to be walking the red carpet or being in that movie or walking down the runway, so to speak, those are times when you might want to adjust your diet to reach your goals for the physique.
I think that it does. I mean, I think that it's funny. My friend Steven said habit forming takes him about 20 days. And I get that. For me, it's if I do it for a month, it totally works. I think that one of the things, I know that it's always going to be about diet versus exercise. You can't outtrain a bad diet. And I think for me, a lot of it comes down to preparation, right? If I know that in the fridge, I have only healthy stuff that I've meal prepped and stuff like that, that's a lot easier than opening the fridge and saying, okay, what should I eat? Because inherently I'm going to wind up eating something bad, right? So I think it comes down to a lot of prep also.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of thoughtfulness to think about what you're going to have in your fridge for the week. So when you're done your workout and you're starving hungry, you're not reaching for the chocolate bars or the sugary granola, right? As for myself, after my workout, I have a big glass of water, and then I take time and I juice organic spinach greens and I drink that. I find that by making that healthy choice, I'm more inclined to make healthier choices throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling good from that nutrition.
Give our listeners an idea, just a quick sort of, okay, what should I have in my fridge at all times for a go-to for snacking, for a go-to for, after a workout? What can I have that's healthy, that won't break the calorie budget? Maybe it's not that expensive.
Okay. Well, I would recommend eggs in the fridge. Eggs are a wonderful source of protein and all kinds of different vitamins. And depending on your diet, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian, but what works for me is I've got eggs in the fridge. I've got pre-juiced organic carrot juice, which is good to balance the sugar levels. Raw cashews are very good. Any type of nut. As well, dates, organic dates, if you can get your hands on some delicious, high quality organic dates. Again, you don't want to eat too many because they're high in sugar, but as an athlete and somebody who's working out, you do need a little bit of naturally occurring sugars.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Well, Kendra, you are going to be speaking on November 10th for Shank Minds Virtual 2022. The link, guys, is below. You can join us there. And thank you so much for taking the time, giving us a little insight as to what you're going to be talking about in a couple of weeks. We can't wait to have you.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Peter.
Guys, thanks for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Remember that link, shank.mn/VS2022, and we will see you on the 10th. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.